Going on, man? Jahan, it's been a long time. We've known each other for years. I got to give you this introduction. We have the one and only great Jahan Nostra coming out of Stamford, Connecticut. We've known each other for a long time now. He's got his newest album, Violet Skies, that just dropped last week for your birthday. Happy belated. He's been doing
Thank
great things and putting Connecticut on the map for us out here along with the other greats from Connecticut. But I always want to champion the people from my home state, and Jahan's been working for a long time, making the connections, and you can see that the hard work is paying off, and your song going viral in Japan and everything that happened for you on social media. You can see the
you.
flowers are finally coming from your hard work, man. And we have Jahan Nostra joining me on the show here tonight, Live 365, iHeartRadio, Mad Max Radio. Jahan, what's going on, man?
Yo, what's up? What's up? What's going on, baby? Sports and hip hop. What's up, Max?
You already know, man. It's the last time. The last time I interviewed you, I was just crawling. I
I,
was just crawling, man. And now you see what I built,
I
crawling.
love it. I love it. First of all, congrats to you and all the success on the show. Listen, I love it. I saw it. That's why they call me Nostra.
Yeah.
So, so at the end of the day, consistency is key. Shout out to St. John's U. Shout out to you. And I love it, man. I love it. Consistency is key. Progress is the process.
Absolutely. It's amazing to see because I've known you since high school. I remember you came out to when I was at the Blue Streak and you having the Keep Calm and Sip Green Tea t-shirts. Do you still have those? Because I know
Yeah.
you still
Yeah,
have those, yeah?
I do. I do it. That's kind of like a cult song for me. I upgraded them though. If you go to Jahan Nostra, my Instagram page, verified business, it basically has my shop connected to it. The Keep Calm and Sip Green T-shirts have been updated, so we got an even better logo and even better style. That's something that a lot of people really love that song for me, which I put out in 2012 on my Bedtime Street album, and it's kind of like the shirt kept growing, kept staying alive. So you had the one you have is a rare addition because that's like keep calm and sip green tea, and that was when at a time when it was everything was keep calm and do
It
you know
was
what I mean?
popping
That's
then. It was trendy.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
trendy. This one that I have has the emoji of Jahan Nostra. It's like I got the cup. It's crazy. The graphics are done. We upgraded and it says sipping green tea and it comes in all colors, green, black, white, man. Merch game is crazy, man.
I got to check that out and get an updated one here because mine doesn't fit me anymore. It's been
Okay.
years because I that was high school years, and plus I like all my stuff baggy because I'm so early 2000s 90s with my style. So
Fact.
yeah.
Fact. We'll do that. We'll do that. I gotta get you something, man. I'm rocking the Jakarta Jahan Nostra joint right
Okay, so you
now.
got your own hoodies
Joint
too,
created
all
by
on the
my
website.
yeah. Shout out to my boy Mia Seven www.jahannostra.com.
But man, how have you been? I mean, I've been seeing you with all this work. It's been a long time since ESP, but how have you been since the last time that we really talked as far as making the connections and just building up the fan base, networking
Mhm.
throughout the industry, touring? It's kind
Yeah.
of get me updated on that. I think the last time that we spoke, what was it, 2017, 2018? I
Yeah.
think 2018, right?
2018. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably so, man. I mean, since then, been all over, man. Been to Montreal, you know what I'm saying? I'll be touring Europe in September. I've performed all over the States, of course. And I released a lot of singles, with a lot of different people. I also, recently just, over the past few years, about 18 into 19, I really kind of during the pandemic and beyond, actually ESP went even more viral. I mean, you saw it. ESP came out in 2016, but after that, it got a new life in the pandemic, which is crazy. It kind of shows. I tell people don't give up on their albums. You know what I mean? Like I
Mhm.
never would anyway. But my style is kind of like the essence, timeless kind of style. And songs like "Embrace the Rain," "Welcome Home," they started to explode. I got over 1 million hits from this guy
The
Yuya.
freestyle with the basketball moves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was Yuya. Yeah, yeah, that was Yuya. Over a million views on Instagram, man. It's crazy. He took that out of love. Just to let everybody know that wasn't anything. I was like, yo, what we didn't have it wasn't even like influence you, or let me pay this influence. He was like, yo, I love this song. I'ma do my art that I do to this song. And he did that free of charge. And next thing you know, I'm like, dag, this joint is going crazy. Over 1 million views on Instagram. It went viral, which connected me to Mia Seven, who did my recent album cover, Violet Skies. He's in Jakarta. it really went viral during the pandemic. ESP, you know ESP because you were on the ground, kind of on the ground team. You got it when it was Grassroots. Came
Yeah.
out in 2016 in August. But after that, it went viral actually later on, a couple years later. It did well when it first came out. And it's still, I was moving shows all off of that and doing singles and doing all types of work. But then in 2020, it went viral. It started to explode in its own way. Songs like Living Your Life, Welcome Home, Embrace the Rain. These songs are carrying me. And I did shows with Ludacris, T.I.,
I heard about the
people.
TI show.
Yeah, yeah. I started going crazy, and man, it's just a lot of flowers, like you said, but also, hip hop is a universal thing. The real essence hip hop, it's universal. It isn't just one style, so it's not like it's a one hit wonder type of thing. So who goes viral 3 years later, 4 years later? I mean, I don't know, man. I guess me over a million hits on Instagram with Yuya, and it spiraled from there. I had all kinds of people across the world uh creating videos to ESP, sending me free of charge. It was, I mean, it's very humbling.
It's amazing because I remember the last time that we were in the studio, you tell me that because we both love the 90s hip hop and now we can't bring back the 90s, it's dead and gone, but we can
Right.
always re-listen and revisit the classics that came out of that era. But to me, I feel as though that hip hop has come a long way since we last spoke because we were in the middle of the mumble rap era, the
Yep.
nonsense. You still have it going on out here, but now you have the emergence. Nas has reemerged.
Exactly.
Jay Noir's on, who's on your album, of
Yep.
course. The
Yep.
Griselda guys.
Whole
So,
Griselda.
so
There
you,
are another people I did a show with too.
that's
Griselda.
right. I
I
think I did see that like a
yeah,
year or so ago. I think I saw that on your Insta.
yeah,
I've been so off the gram just for
yeah,
my own mental health. I'm never on Instagram anymore.
yeah.
I just post my
Right.
stuff and I'm
Right.
off. So
Right. Got you. No, I think that's smart. I do
yeah.
think, and I am kind of too. So no, but that I did do. I was on the What Would Sheen Gun Do tour, which
Okay.
is which is a big tour. That was all three. That was West Side Gun, Benny, and and uh um
Conway.
yeah. So all three, and I was fortunate enough to do a show. I did a show at the Webster with them. Huge crowd, huge crowd. And that was at the peak of that time. That was like, when they was with the Rock and all of that. So that helped. And yeah, well, I think I mentioned, yes, we can't relive the 90s, but what I call my style, because I'm, around their age, is basically essence updated.
Mm.
That's what I call it, and that's what Violet Skies is. Not to change subjects, but it's essence updated. You can't beat the essence. The essence is something that no idea is original anyway. Nothing new under the sun. It's never what you do, but how it's done.
Mm.
Quote Nas. And when that happens, it's just basically you adding yourself into the picture and me adding myself. And I've been doing hip hop so long, signed at 14 years old, um, you know, late 90s mixtape era,
The
that
mixtapes. That's how you got your
yeah,
start.
yeah, it's my start. And I've been doing it so long that I have kind of a original, because I wasn't afraid to be original. It turned me into something that I don't think everybody is. And that's like I kind of have my own style, my own platform. Violet Skies, a color of creativity. That's kind of what it's about. ESP, I take elements from my life, from my style, and mix it with that. And now we reach 50 years of hip hop, which
Which
is
is
making me even
crazy.
more relevant. And Violet
Yeah.
Skies comes out that year. What are the chances of that? I
it,
mean,
it, it,
I didn't plan that,
no,
you
but it
know.
happened. It was meant to
It
be.
it was meant to be, man. So yeah, between then and now to just catch up, it's like, yeah, I've been blessed, man. I did the What Was Machine Gun 2 tour dates, a couple of those, and then I did a big huge show with Ludacris. I did a big huge show with T.I. I did a lot of independent shows. I still keep my independent shows from North Carolina, where I went to school, to UNC area.
Tar Heels.
And I still got a lot of my brothers I'm working with, just continuing on. I've opened for Del the Funky Homo Sapien, Razzcast, I've just, it's just, if the list goes on, you can check, all my credentials online and stuff like that. If you check Jahan Nostra out. But recently now, yeah, my new album, Violet Skies, now it's come full circle. It features Che Noir, it features the legend Master Ace,
Masta
you
Ace
know,
dedication too.
Dedication too. I mean, you know, and there's nobody more dedicated. When you look at Master Ace's career, he's somebody that he's a perfect example of somebody, another artist that I could utilize from the Juice Crew. That you look at that when you talk about dedication. I mean, you look at him with Marco Polo now, and just over the
Brooklyn
last,
Story.
yeah, he's in his 50s, and he's like brand new. This guy is putting out quality music right now. Right now, you go get that Brooklyn Story album, you're gonna be like, yo, what what's up? This is popping. There's no age. Yo, he's
No.
killing it. So dedication, which is features Tom L, Rakim's son, my brother, who I grew up with as well. You know what I'm saying? Came
Rakim's
up
son.
with.
He's been on the show. I think I had him on like 2 years ago.
Nice. There you
Yeah.
go. That's my brother right there. He was in the studio for my album Sleepwalking, which came out before ESP. How about that?
Yeah. That was when you're on
So
your Brainiac stage.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, real brainiac. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? We daydream every day and dream every night. So, and that was produced by Papa Pill, who actually produced a track for Rakim.
Mm.
About that. So when you look at it, I was fortunate, man, coming around these people, coming up around and just soaking up a lot of knowledge. But getting back to the point, you look at it and you look at dedication. You have Tom L, you have Rex, myself, and Masta Ace. It's dedication two. Added Masta Ace. The first one had those three. So it talks about the essence hip hop, and it's almost like a standout single from Violet Skies because it's just an anthem on yo, I love what I do, whatever it is that I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and hip hop is something that you're dedicated to, but you could be dedicated to a radio show, like you, Max. Your
Yeah.
whole story is dedication. You know, that's why I like my title of dedication because it basically is going viral as well because you can basically size it up with anything. You know, if you look at sports and hip hop, you look at the Knicks, you
Yeah.
look at everything that's going on right now. It's all been dedication, my brother. You know what I'm
Jalen
saying?
Brunson.
Yeah, he's
Who
killing
would
it.
have thought,
And the
man?
guy's got a system. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, let's keep the system going, fellas. All right. First of all, but dedication is in the heart of all of it. You know, the analogy, just the word. So when I use dedication too, when I state it, and that to be a highlighted track, one of the highlighted tracks, there's plenty, but that one really standing out. It's very broad, and I had a lady send me, you know, or a lady who did cakes. She sent me, she was doing like cakes to the dedication, like it was like these crazy, wild, like I don't know nothing about this. It's art, you know what I mean? But she knows how to create these like extravagant, great cakes, and she was playing dedication. Like that was the reel that she made. She used dedication for the reel. So she been making cakes for all these years, and she was able to relate to it. So to have a legend like Master Ace represented, not only the fact that it spreads out and it's broad, but who better to complement the authenticity of a song than someone like that, given the flowers in
Juice
50
Crew
years of
legend.
hip hop.
I heard that he was saying that it was you made it easy for him and it was the quickest song that he ever just banged out right away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
isn't that something?
Yeah.
Yeah, what a birdie told you that? Yo,
Yeah.
what? All right, man, don't get Nardwar on me
Yeah.
now. Oh man, Max. Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Um, yes, yes. Listen, yeah, that's the straight up conversation. I said, look, man. I don't know if you'd be interested, but listen, I got the perfect song. I told him straight up, you're the epitome of that. We spoke. I done, some shows with him. Been in the areas and stuff, and I presented to him, and yeah, he went in, Max. He did the verse, and I was like, yo, hey, this was kind of fast, Playboy. Like, yo, what happened? He was like, yeah, I usually don't even really write that, but a lot of cats send me stuff, and I gotta structure the concept and da 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 da. But you guys made it easy for me and blah blah blah. So man, that was humbling, and it kind of let me know we're on the right path, Max.
If you definitely are. If you were to collaborate with another artist of the Juice Crew, because I know you like everyone from Craig G, who would be your next go-to Juice Crew member? Is it Big Daddy Kane?
That's a good
G
question.
Rap?
Remember, we got Coogee Rap, we got Big Daddy Kane, we got Craig G, we got MC
MC
Shan,
Shan, Roxanne Shante,
Roxanne Shante. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Kane.
Big Daddy Kane. He had
I'm
that
gonna go with Big Daddy Kane.
mainstream and underground appeal at the same
Oh,
time.
straight up,
Yeah,
straight up. And he has a North Carolina connect.
that's right. Yeah.
Kind of. He's been down there, and so I think he got fam or something. He's been back and forth down all the time. He's from Brooklyn,
Mhm.
but he's definitely like NC second home, kind of like me. Like, that's why J. Cole's my man. You know what I'm saying? Kane. I was in Durham 5-6 years of my life. Little brother, who I know, of course, and Knife Wonder. Those are my, I was at WXDU with all, just like you on your radio show. So that's where I started. And those are like mentors and big artists to me. North Carolina, I loved, just as much as Connecticut, and Mount Vernon, New York, where I'm also from.
Mount Vernon, we've talked about it before with Pete Rock and all the legends that have
Yeah,
come out. Heavy D. We can go on and on about the legends.
we can go on and on.
How
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
feel about how Connecticut has grown since we last spoke as a hip hop
Yo,
scene?
I'm loving it, man. Even when I'm looking at Violet Skies, a lot of the Spotify streaming, I'm seeing a lot of connect. Like, I did a live at 5 with
In
Ludacris, which
Stanford.
is, yeah, in Stanford, which is okay. So I grew up as a kid, when I was even younger than high school. Alive at 5 was going on. It's been going on since then. So it's huge for this city. And it was the first full rap show that, what I did in 2021 with Ludacris. So it was humbling and amazing. And I love how Stanford's grown. We have a lot of new, it used to be growing up with me, I'm like, we going to the Bronx every day, and I'm going to Mount Vernon every day on the train. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the Metro North. Now it's like New York and New Jersey are coming to Stanford a lot. People don't
Wow.
want to talk about it, but
I
that's
wouldn't.
what's
I didn't
going
even
on.
know this, and I live here, so.
Yeah. Well, no, this is what's going on, man. Yeah, I've been outside. I've been outside,
Yeah,
and
even throughout the pandemic, you've been
even
outside.
throughout
But
the
you speak about
pandemic,
the
you know what I'm
pandemic
saying?
on the
Because
opening
I was
track.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
doing work. I was doing work, and even now, like I'm just outside in the city. Like, and after I did those shows with all those people, and with me, it's a little different. Me being into music, I have to be out and about doing shows, so I interact a lot with the people. I if I was doing radio, I've done radio. You
Yeah.
can kind of be in, your bag, kind of chilling, and you can interact with the people because you don't get it twisted. But like performing in front of so many people, it gives me a little insight of certain culture. And I've been around the city, and you asked how I felt about Connecticut. I think it's expanding. I think there's a lot of talent. And I think more importantly, there's a lot of outsiders that the city of Stamford, particularly, a lot of other cities as well, but the city of Stamford is particularly attracting right now. We got Indeed here. We got the businesses, baby. We are the city that works. Show
That's
some
right.
love.
The wannabe New York, right?
But yeah. And I don't know. We got our own little originality now. We got to pop our collar because I don't know. After the pandemic, a lot, and I can say this because I'm from New York as well. Like I said, Mount Vernon. A lot of my city people is coming up like, oh, Stan, oh, yeah, yeah. We gonna come stay in Stanford. We gonna come live in Stanford. We gonna come Uber in Stanford. We gonna go to the shows in Stanford. We got the New York Comedy Club. We got the Palace Theater. Yo, we
Rich
balling right
Forum. At the Rich Forum too.
Rich Forum. Yup,
Yeah.
Rich Forum right here. Rich Forum.
Yeah.
Yo, we doing all right, man. I think Connecticut is evolving.
Mm.
I think Stanford as a city, I think we just surpassed. I think it's the Port or New Haven actually in population to become the number one actual city by population in the state. So we are we are growing, exponentially. You dig? And that, just a lot. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of very interesting young live people here that are taking all types of art because violet's the color of creativity. Violet skies, it's about creatives as well as the people, and these levels of art, they're taking them to just a whole different level.
It is. Apparently, I've had some inside information from people in the industry telling me that Connecticut is the next Hollywood. I'm gonna be blunt about it. I
Right.
love Connecticut. I'm from here. I'm always gonna put on for it. I think it's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, because until I see palm trees, until I see the stars of the
yeah.
Walk of Fame, big
Right.
movie shoots. I mean, you have
Yeah, yeah,
movies that
yeah.
shoot here, but I
Bro,
don't want to hear it until I really start seeing some movement. But
we
there's
need to
things
see
going on
some
in
bread.
Stanford, though. I'll say that.
Yeah, we need to see some bread.
Yeah.
I, I I think what they're saying is they're like, yo, we got finances here, so everything is kind of like, can get done.
Mm,
But you right, we gotta see it. Let's let it develop. All right, let's not get too far
yeah.
ahead. Let's let it develop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we're happy for the compliment.
We are. We're happy for it, but at the same time, I'm a realist. Okay.
Exactly. It's like the Knicks.
Yeah,
We don't
exactly.
get too happy too
Yeah, no,
quick.
you can't. But you win 9 in a row and then you lose 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to some scrubs.
Yeah, horrible. What was it? The Clippers?
Yeah.
If you beat the Lakers, you can go beat the Clippers and the Kings.
Yeah, yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, well, consistency and dedication is all I want to see, baby.
Yeah.
But we'll get there. We'll
But
get there,
Brunson,
man.
man, I mean, can you believe it? Like, when we signed Brunson in the offseason, I just thought about it. I said, is this guy going to really turn us into the superstar team? I didn't expect
Right,
anything, but
right,
he
right.
came here and had an impact right away. Great player at
Yeah.
Villanova, of course, but
Yep,
it
yep.
was totally
Definitely.
unexpected how he's changed, transformed the Knicks.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? But I want them to keep the teamwork with the dream work type of thing because spinning that ball around and playing like that is it really helps they can't really figure out what the Knicks gonna do.
Mm.
I like it. I like the way they're playing, with them leading the way, of course, but I definitely like the way the team is playing.
Mhm. They should have got rid of RJ for Mitchell, though. I think
Yeah,
Donovan
yeah.
Mitchell. I think they should have got Donovan Mitchell. Give up because I think the Knicks have a ton of draft picks. Should have
Mhm.
shifted them out and got
Right.
Donovan Mitchell. He wanted to be here. If they had
Yeah, yeah,
him,
yeah. No, no, I agree. There's always something with the front office,
yeah.
man. I love him. Listen, I've been in Knicks games with Michael Jordan. As you know, I've been courtside.
The
I've been
David
with
Lee court, the last minute buzzer beater there. David Lee. We've seen the
yeah, yeah,
videos.
with David Lee. And since then I've been around and the organization is, I love them to death, but it's still a lot of, things where I'm like, huh?
Yeah, Dolan has a lot of racial problems.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've
I
kept
love
him in. They've kept
Dolan.
him locked in a closet. I think since Tibbs really took over.
Right. And we love you, Dolan, but listen to Adam Silver. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Listen to Adam.
Yeah.
I met Adam. I met Adam,
You met
actually.
Adams. I think I've seen the picture. You took a picture with him,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. He was at it, and guess where he was? At the Garden.
At the Garden.
At the Garden. And I chopped it up, Max, for me and you with a little bit of my concerns of the situation.
Yeah.
So, by the way, how about this? 4 weeks ago, down here at the Hilton, well, it was a while ago, actually. That wasn't I'm lying, but it was a while ago. I went to the John Starks Doc Rivers camp. I
That's
ran
right. The
into
pictures
John
we've seen
Starks,
him.
Charles Oakley.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, and I actually created this interesting Instagram post where I had from then till now, and it showed when I was 15, and I went to the King Low Hayward New York Knicks camp, and then it had a picture of me and him together at the hill.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Just to see how time has flown and
Yeah.
legends.
Legends, legends. So shout out to the Knicks. The Knicks raised risk organization, had a lot of just like hip hop. This is sports and hip hop, right?
Yeah.
It had a lot of influence over my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I played ball. It was an outlet, just like music was an outlet. You know what I'm saying? So they definitely inspired me. You know what I'm saying? John Starks is doing his thing with the cigars and a bunch of other stuff that he does in this city. But here's another thing. New Yorkers, John Starks, Charles Oakley, all these top-notch Knicks legends have big roots in Stamford.
That's right.
Stanford particularly. A lot of them live thrive and their hands are deeply rooted in this community. So maybe we will be some of the next Hollywood. Just figure I'll let you guys.
Yeah, you're right on with that. I've heard the stories. I know the inside information with those two, of course.
Yeah, man.
But how does it feel to know that the Nets, which is the definition of gentrification, they're going. But unfortunately, because the Knicks have went on their 3-game losing streak, they've sunk back down to 6th place, and the Nets have gone up a spot. But
yeah,
they're finished. The Nets now. I think it's
the Nets are finished. Kyrie. I just said in a rap freestyle the other day on a show how Kyrie. I said something about Kyrie Irving being outspoken, and then I was like, "Go Brooklyn," and then I said, "Oh, I forgot he's on Dallas now."
Yeah,
that was the line. I can't even repeat it. You'll see it because I'll post it. But it's like, yo, I basically and like, yeah, like Brooklyn's done.
Yeah, they're done. Thank God.
They
I've
was
had
hot
enough.
for a minute though. You know, everybody wanted to be Brooklyn fan.
I never wore Brooklyn Net jersey. Never will.
Yeah. No, yeah, you die hard like me.
Yeah.
But a lot of people rode the bandwagon.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, it was all the young kids and you got to do whatever's trendy. No, I'm not about that. I have a bunch of basketball jerseys. I have Laker jerseys, Raptor jerseys. Right. I'll never have a Brooklyn Net jersey. I never will. Just because of that time frame too, because all the fans were laughing at us when we didn't get them.
Right.
So,
yeah,
never.
No, definitely. I always appreciated your loyalty, brother. I mean, and that's the way you are. Like, but that's the way. Back to Violet Skies and back to you. That's the way you get your unique approach. You know, I saw you talking to Fat Joe, who's my brother, who I was at a Knicks game with.
That's right. Yeah.
And also at a live with and talked to him one time. But one thing that I saw, just to show you how I observe, you threw a little homework underneath me with the Masta Ace. I got a little something for you. And that was, you know, he stated like he was like, I think at the time you told him and you were like, yeah, I'm 19 or 20. And he was like, "You're 19?"
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. That was 2 years ago, pandemic.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago. He said he couldn't believe you were doing the interview and you were talking about a lot of Essence hip hop. I think you were talking about DITC.
Yeah, digging in the crates.
Yeah, and you of course were very eloquent, you know, Lord Finesse, you know, Big L, OC.
Diamond
and he's
D.
like, yeah, you know, but you know, cats like us, we don't really know us. And I'm like, us. And then he's like, you're like, yeah, well, you know, I'm 19. He says, "You're 19?"
Yeah.
The reason I remember is because I had got on a live with him not too long before or after that. Because we were talking about some things in the pandemic when he first started that show.
Oh, the Fat Joe show. He was going
live I was
every
on
night.
there. I was on there and we were building about the Knicks a lot and about that time we were together a little bit. And I remembered, and then I was like, "Oh, Joe's on it." And now I did see that episode. Let you know, I check it. You know what I mean? Sports and hip hop. I'm still connected. I catch it when I can.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. You know, a lot of life changes have been going on, and you know, the thing people see down the road. I've been keeping things under the tuck and stuff, but yeah, I'm gonna keep building from where I've been. You know, I've been graduated from St. John's now for 2 years. I think I'm coming up on my 2nd year this summer. I've been out of St. John's for 2 years. So,
man, congrats, brother. Keep up the positive vibes. You know that's what I'm all about.
Yeah. Oh, of course, man. You got it. And I appreciate you being in tune and you just following from the start. Because I remember when you discovered me on Instagram. I think we got in the conversation in the comments because you saw people grilling me trying to school me in the comment section. I think I was at Stamford Mall, FYE or something. I took a picture in front of the CDs. And people are like, "Oh, public," because I was always so well versed in the '90s and the '80s hip hop, and people were trying to school me, and I was like, "Yeah, this is what I listen to."
Yeah. You know, everybody tries to get on their soapbox. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I'm glad, you know, because you were younger then, and I seen it, and I know it. So it came to a point where it's like, nah, all right, we're gonna handle this right quick.
Yeah,
it's time to encourage that. That's the prominent ones. We gonna keep it right. We need that. And you know, that's who I was, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's easy for me to be like, you're gonna have to tone it down.
Yeah.
And you see what happened. You see what evolved, what grew, what went on and how it became and how things evolved. And you have the love for the culture, baby. And at the end of the day, everything will sustain as long as you got love for the culture and 50 years of hip hop. That's what Violent Skies is talking about. That's what ESP's talking. That's what all of my
Mhm.
productions have in common. They evolve, they change, but no matter what, it's always going to be a love of the culture and the art form and whatever you do to 110%. And look at you, you found an outlet, you know what I'm saying, and you have the ability to put the things together. And you know, you're through with St. John's and you're progressing, and that's really the key. You know, a lot of people, you know, they don't really see that. They was talking about that recently with Michael B. Jordan with that Creed 3 coming out. They was talking about, you know, somebody was talking about this idea of what people look at as corny and not. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
I
saying?
expect to see a lot of reporters when I'm on the red carpet do the same thing to me, but I'm telling you, I'm not stopping for that interview, Jahan. I'm
Yeah,
not stopping. I'm keeping it moving.
keep it moving, Mac. Keep it moving. Because
God bless
Stanford's the
Michael
next
B. Jordan
Hollywood.
for stopping. I ain't stopping. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I
Nah,
remember when you're calling me corny. I'm
yeah,
keeping it moving.
I'm keeping it moving. Exactly. He called her out.
Yeah, that yeah, you could do that, but I feel as though that gave her some kind of fame. I would have just
Yeah. Right. See, I like your style too. I agree. I think that that's the vibe. And I
yeah.
think that, you know, I think that, you know, you do that and you up. You up now.
Yeah, exactly. Like my picture in the background, I actually have Tupac's your favorite rapper, and I believe that a picture says 1,000 words. I actually have Tupac when he's in the Red Wing jersey, spitting at the cameras.
Oh,
That
nice.
that's one of my favorite. I've seen the video and everything. It's
Right. Yeah, the
iconic. And
hockey
him,
joint. Was it the Devils?
yeah, the Red Wings.
Yeah, oh, the Red Wings. That's right. It
Yeah,
was the Red Wings. Yeah. It was the Red Wings. Yeah. And he's got the bandana.
yeah. That's when he was on his rebellious stage because I think that's right when he
Yeah.
came
That's
out of
my new
jail.
style. That's my
Yeah,
new
that's
style.
right. That's the video. Have
Yeah.
a good summer.
Yeah. He was vexed. He was vexed because they, you know, they that's the Gemini for you.
Yeah.
That's that Gemini in pot, man. You know, he was letting them know, like, you know, you're not gonna bully me, you know what I mean? You're not gonna put pressure on me, you know. He just responded differently than me and you might. He was very adamant on what he believed in and what he thought was correct. And he wasn't letting nobody bully and push him. He was a true creative man from the heart.
It was, and he's the greatest of all time in my opinion. I know people are always going to say Jay-Z and all these other
Right.
guys, but when I think of hip hop, I think of Tupac. I think he's did just his figure, his
Mhm.
image, everything,
Right.
his message. That's hip
Fact.
hop. If someone were to say, "What's the definition of hip hop?" If you could think of one artist, it's Tupac Shakur.
Right.
No
Yeah,
doubt
no.
about it.
Gotcha. There's no doubt. And if you look at it on a universal level, no knock to any of the great Nas, one of my favorites.
Yeah,
But you know, if you go around the world, people know Tupac.
yeah,
Like if you go to Bogota, if you go to Chile, I'm not only talking. Everybody knows him in America, but if you go to any end of the world, they know Tupac Shakur. You believe that? No knock on anybody else, but I'm just saying that's his. And it is because just he passed. He had a whole universal approach
he
that
did.
people just didn't have back then.
No, and he's got his own books with the poetry, the movies, the
Yeah,
whole impact, just everything he stood for,
yeah,
his
it's just crazy.
activism.
Yeah,
Crazy.
but you know, and it is. Now that don't mean that I'm not, you know, for my tri-state area lyricists, some of my favorites, you know what I'm saying? Big L, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? There's a lot, you know what I mean? Nas, you know what I mean? Black Thought, there's
Black
a
the
lot,
Roots.
you know what I'm saying? But it's understanding, you know, impact, imagery, ideas all meshed together. And you know, when you look at Violet Skies, you'll see a combination of these worlds. You know what I'm saying? Even songs like the title track, you know, I'm talking about the pandemic in
Dr. Fauci
retrospect.
line.
Yeah. You know, it's more speaking on hindsight is 2020. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm talking about, like I think a lot of people try to capitalize when they were talking about it. If you listen to the Violet Skies title track, you can hear that I'm speaking on what went on during the pandemic with authenticity. You know what I'm saying? And looking back on it, like, because the way I think people are going to look at that time frame, they're going to look at like the Black Plague. Like, that's going to be the way ours is like 40 years from now when people are older. There's going to be like, yo, you remember in 2020, in March 2020, when things just went
We were all
crazy. And
trapped in our houses and
yeah,
thought
and
the world
the
was gonna end.
stores just shut down,
Yeah.
and we couldn't get nothing to drink. Like
No.
the jobs was going crazy. We was at home collecting our salary. That's what French Stimulus is about.
Yeah.
Which is another song off the album, track number 7. It talks about the French Stimulus produced by my man King Flow. Shout out to DJ King Flow,
Mhm.
from France, Paris, France. It really deals with how the package in France was in comparison to the American stimulus package. So that's why it's called the French stimulus. And it talks about, how much finances we were able to, how much of our actual check, which was about 70% as opposed to 60 in the United States, give or take, that we actually gained during the pandemic when we were going through the situations of not having a job. So it's really a lot of different subjects that people don't know. Then you got Plaga, positions, leverage, ambition, great advancement. That's a acronym. Shout to Che Noir.
Yeah.
And those bars are just, should we really mesh together well on that track, produced by my man E Major from Queensbridge. He did a phenomenal job. And that's bars all day, and mental stimulation at the same time, and hip hop, at its core. I'm real proud of a lot of these jewels that I have on the album. You know what I'm saying? We got Bond number 7 featuring Finn, who did some great singing. Like I said, you said Dedication 2 with Masta Ace. Picture frames. We got this joint We Up with my boy Cairo, which is a celebration. And this is 3 volumes. This is just the first in the series. I did 3 albums worth of material through these past while, but I kind of wanted to sit there and spoon feed with the tension. I've also adjusted to the times, because if you look at Violet Skies 1, there's only 9 tracks. There are
That's
9
right.
tracks.
So that you have another upcoming, and I did hear that you have a West Coast legend on the next one.
Yes, I do. I do have a West Coast legend. You never seems to amaze me there, Max, with the listening. Man, good job. I do have a West Coast legend on the track. I also have a
I'm
lot
praying
of,
it's Razcast because
yeah.
that's
I don't want to give it away.
is it
Not
is it
yet.
is it
It's not Raz. It's not Raz. Though I'm still building. So it could be Raz. Raz, Raz to me is cool because I open for Raz. I worked with Raz before on that note. So I would love to get bars from Raz. But when I make songs, they're also trust. It don't just be, yo, let me get a joint. It
mm,
really be how
organic?
we gonna meet right in the middle, so both styles are so complemented.
I think
And
your styles complement each other. Nature of the Threat,
yeah, no,
Interview with
I
the
agree.
Vampire,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I
the
definitely
French
agree.
Stimulus.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I definitely agree. He even worked with King Flow, who produced French Stimulus. King Flow has done a track for Raskaz. So,
The connections
in the
there.
near future, I'm open to it, baby. I've met Raskaz in Brooklyn at the. I was with him at the Brooklyn Hip Hop Festival in like 2017. Not to mention I opened for him in like 2014. So definitely created a relationship. He's the Waterproof MC is just, man, he's off the hook. I'd have to come. We'd have to mesh some lyrical bars. You know what I mean? Put them together and just be like, whoo, hotness. But it's not Raz. It's not Raz. But it's someone else.
Oh,
And they tough. Not yet. It's coming out. The second one could be out by the summer. So I'll keep you posted and give you
yeah.
the early heads up, yo. Facts.
I appreciate that. Just speaking about, because everything you speak about, you've been true to yourself and you're a prophet in this game, just like KRS-One, Knowledge Reigns
Mhm.
Supreme, Rakim. Every lyricist has taught us something in the game. And when you look at artists today, I know you're big on 21 Savage and the Baby. I'm not
Mhm.
big on the Baby. I think he stinks. But when I
Right,
look
right,
at when I really look at it, do you think that do you feel as though that, because people are afraid they're not going to speak on what's real, of course, but
right.
do you
Of
feel as
course.
though that hip hop today with the trap music and the mumble rap that's really mainstream, do you feel like that hip hop has become gentrified compared to artists like you and what we got in the past? Do you feel like today's hip hop is gentrified?
It's a good question. A little bit.
Mm,
I don't know if I'll say it's gentrified. I would say that we have more subgenres of what I would, because people use that term hip hop like very loosely. You know what I'm saying? They're
Yeah.
like, yo, there's this, there's that. Now, listen, there's some, I am big on that. There's some cats that I like, I hear, and they're dope.
21 Savage, I know you like him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's decent. I didn't like the knock towards Nas, and then Nas made a track with him. I would have
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
wouldn't have done
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
it is what
Yeah.
it is. But I can understand. There's a lot of older rappers I've heard that said they like 21 Savage. I've seen
Right.
some things on Twitter. People, but
Yeah, what it is with him too is I think I do now one thing about me, I'm a hip hop essence artist and all of that, but I also had to grind it out. So understand I'm an entrepreneur as well. 21 Savage is a dude that moved and did a lot of good things independently. He's not like the super lyricist cat, but I like a certain amount of what he stands for in a sense of that. Now, with the Nas thing, I'm gonna be honest. People wanted to stick up, I misspoke. He made a mistake. I'm gonna be honest. What he should have said to say that he wasn't relevant. This is why you gotta you know what you got to know the definition of it. Now, I don't think he was meaning to kind of get at Nas, but I think what happened was 21 that came out with that album with Drake, right? And the timing, because the
KD3 just
way
blew it
Nas,
away.
yeah, because Nas came out with, he kind of took his shine a little bit. That's the way. But the way I saw it and the way he should have seen it, and why you can tell he's still young, is you guys, it's hip hop. So you got different audiences. There's different things. Everybody's gonna eat. Him having KD3 wasn't gonna take away so much for you unless you feel that way. And if you confident and you got layers of what you do, you shouldn't really worry about that. The comment was, for those that don't know, was, Nas is not relevant. He just has a very strong fan base. But that is what makes you relevant. So
Exactly.
it's kind of an oxymoron. It's a contradiction when you really think about it. And I just think at that moment we caught it, and we got to chill with this because we all were young. And one time he got caught in a moment where I think that wasn't necessarily what he meant, but I think he was forced to respond or he felt he was, because of the fact that KD3 came out, and there's a little bit of, a lot of artists want to shine, whatever. And then, they cleared it up. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of artists need to reevaluate and understand the term relevant, what it means, how it's going on. Because you don't have to just be young. The game has now changed. Like I said, Masta Ace is dropping some of the best adult. You have adult contemporary hip hop now. Listen, I've always kind of done. When I was 18 and 17, I was talking about domestic violence or different things I was seeing around me. I was putting that all into my music. Everyone's different. Not everybody's talking about popping bottles at the club. And you know what? Not to say that doesn't. I have songs like 20s or songs like We Up where I'm talking about fun things. But I've always had a little bit more substance, and I've
To
been
it.
able to talk about those things and be able to spit about those things. So, do I think it's justified? No, I think the industry part of it has made it seem like that. But I think that if you look at it now, the essence hip hop is right where it needs to be, and everybody's talking this independent, independent, independent. So when you really look at it, when I put out Violet Skies, one of the main things I put out and said is, don't worry about the stuff you hate. Just practice progressing on the passions, on the things that you love, and invest in that. And let's see where it goes. Ain't no hate. That's for y'all. This is for me. You show the love, let it expand, and you going viral, baby. Let's bring the essence updated viral. Now, that's not to say you can't have no trap. I like some great music is great music.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? No matter what the genre category. But you gotta have the passion for it. And that is something that I do see lacking. I see the finances have gone up. But the passion, if you do trap, you better be happy go lucky about what it is. You better have lived that. When T.I. does trap, oh, I'm listening to
Yeah.
this. I'm listening to Jeezy. I like trap. I listen to Gucci. I might not listen to you,
Yeah.
such and such, whoever it is. I like Gunna, some of them. And I got my parents live in Atlanta. So I can tell y'all right now, I've been back and forth to the trap. Okay? I'm not no cat that's just some up top kid. If you look at it, you'll hear different sounds. Using my song Vitamin D, and I'm utilizing a little bit of drums and speeding it up. But I'm always gonna come with the bars. Always. And that's the way I'm gonna do. In the original trap sound, they had bars. T.I. has bars. Jeezy had bars. Like they came in with bars.
They did.
It wasn't like just, it's not just you talking about drugs. That's not what the trap is all about. The trap was a lifestyle. So, I mean, I think it's evolved into different things. And what happens, the industry co-opted and they're like, well, this is trap. So this is the trap that sells. So they've created actually a generic brand of what the culture is. And anything they create is going to be a generic brand. So we got to keep the authenticity right here in the streets. I could go all day talking about it, but that's it in a nutshell.
I agree. No, it definitely is in a nutshell what you just said right there. But as far as the tracks go on this album, you went for the international scope with the music. What was it that attracted you to the international production sound?
You know, great question, Max.
Mhm.
I like people who like me. I love people who love me. And during the pandemic, I went through a lot of love from overseas, man. Shout out to my man Mia Seven, who designed the album cover, which is a wild style, graffiti style, Violet Skies, Jahan Nostra mural that was created in Indonesia. I was so humbled. He was a supporter, fan, loved the music. This man wrote on the wall. I have a video called Picture Frames, which travel all through the video showing this man, this graffiti artist, this great talented artist, paint this mural. And he created this mural from the ground up. Jahan Nostra Violet Skies. It is the album cover. This is Wild Style Graffiti, and he's someone I met in the pandemic. Yuya, who you talked about the basketball
Mhm.
freestyling, he's somebody I met in the pandemic. Now, bear in mind, these are some tough times. These are times where you got people dying left and right. I'm gonna just keep it a buck 50. You got people doing, getting sick, relatives, so many things. I
It's still
really
happening
bonded.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still happening. And I really bonded with these guys through creativity and women too. There was all types of people, soccer players. There were so many people engaging with ESP that I built relationships with these people, talking, building on Instagram. So I already knew hip hop was universal. I've been out of the country, I've got my passport and all of that. But listen, the hip hop is it really is, and they love it. They love the both
The
sides
real
of the
hip hop.
culture. Yo, you know how many break dancers were yo, like this is crazy legs all over again. You go to Japan, you go to Bogota, you go to the Colombia, you go anywhere in Colombia, you go to France, you go to anywhere overseas in any of these countries, and these people doing it like the night. Hip hop is overseas. So what happened is I got attracted to that. I started building with a lot of people that love me. I got this producer named Crow. He's from Serbia. You know what I mean? He produced Violet Sky's title track, and he produced a track for me called Huge. And those are both on Violet Skies. We've been talking for months. He's been sending me all kinds of beats, crazy beats. I mean, and we've developed a relationship. They love the true essence sound. They're not trying to sell the American microwave, generic rap. Nah, we got this. Come out here, Jahan. We'll book you. Come out here. We'll help you with the hotel. Come out here. But it ain't only for that. I love that, man. So I went to all these people. I started talking, and that just gave me a natural, organic relationship. I still have my brother Symphony on the album, who's from this area as I am, and I've got my boy E Major from Queensbridge. But a majority of the album, DJ King Flow, you know what I'm saying? Um, Crow, who I just mentioned. These are all international producers. The album cover was done by
Fire.
Mia Seven, who is an international. He's in Jakarta, Indonesia. I got the hoodies, Jakarta, Indonesia, hoodies with the Jahan Nostra. All of these people were people I connected with during the pandemic, and then afterwards, I cultivated a strong relationship with, and now it just presses me on. Now as I get ready to tour, I'll be in Europe in September. I am going to go and I'm gonna go see these people. I'm gonna go build with these people, and I'm gonna go kill some shows, and that's what I love doing. You know what I mean? People think the hip hop is it's alive and well. You just might have to. It ain't gonna just be in your backyard, man. I think somewhere down the line, sometimes when you have something, you might lose appreciation for it. If it's too close to you, and I think overseas has completely, got the idea of we love this. We love the culture. Yo, we gonna give you your flowers now. We're not waiting for whomever says what. So long story short, that's the reason that it made it international. And I've always been an international guy. I mean, ESP is kind of international. I always talk about broad subjects. We were talking about Pac and how he was. Like, I always wanted to affect the world rather than only my block. I love my block, but I always wanted to affect the world as well. And I connect well with people, and we have conversations just like me and you do, and things build, and next thing you know, these people are really, really really championing the sound of the Essence updated, as I call it, style. You know what I mean? So we got bars, but they trust me, it's not outdated. The flows is upgraded,
It
baby.
is.
Flows, they trail for real. Y'all
And
need
the
to
Essence
get with it.
updated was recording in the middle of Jackson Heights here.
Yeah, that's right. Good job. Yeah, we Queens, and that has everything. You want to talk about authenticity? Jackson Heights. It is,
Diversity.
yes, the most in the world,
Yep.
actually, per area. The most cultures in the world can be found in Jackson Heights, Queens. And shout out to my engineer Zeus Anderson. That is where most of the album was recorded. Shout out to my boy Chris Murder from Stanford, actually, who on the rebound during the pandemic really helped out and gave me some bangers and helped me to record and do some things when things got a little sticky. Um, and then shout out to Seraphine and the Grammy Award winning Daddy Kev, who mastered the album, was mastered for Kendrick and a slew of other people. My man, he also mastered ESP. I'm growing a team here, but shout out to QU. That's where most of the album, fortunately, was concentrated and recorded. So you see how I do things, Max. It's like everything is authentic. Like, I was seeing that diversity. I'm eating the Vietnamese noodles. You know what I mean? I'm down the street with my Indian brothers. I'm down the street with my white brothers, my black brothers. It's all a buffet of greatness. This diversity. So that's what I was seeing. That's what I was around. Jamaican food. It's so many different nationalities in that area. So it came to a point where I was taking all that in while I'm writing these records. So the records, the palette is already, like, what I'm saying? It's already all national. You got so many different flows, baby. That's why the skies are violet, man.
Yeah.
It's gotta be real, man. Got to be real, man. And that is definitely, that's a good point, because that is how I I did the painting of this masterpiece, of this piece we have. So I leave it up to the people to call it masterpiece, but this piece I have, I really live what I do in order to execute this stuff. And that is a big key, having that diversity, recording out of there. And Queens, you got Tribe, you got so many of my favorite groups I followed kind of, came from there. So that was a hell of an experience working with Zeus Anderson, who's a fairly young, by the way, young guy, you know what I'm saying? Late 20s. So, I mean, in essence, I also have a new vibe. That's why I call it Essence Updated. He took my sound and worked with me with production and helped me update it. And then I have my man Seraphine, who was able to mix it in that Jahan Nostra ingredient that it naturally is, but get a little bit of help from him. So there's a lot of different angles with this album. And Zeus Anderson is on the track. Shout out to him. My song "We Up," he killed it. He came in with a little bit of the new waves, but still essence, man. It's I'm really proud of it, man. It's really a good eclectic mix.
No, I enjoyed it, man, from top to bottom. Like I said, you're a prophet in this game. You always stay true to yourself, and you know what's on the way here with Ever So Prominent because you have your own record label. I think it's important to stay independent in this day and age. But do you ever see yourself, or have you had some conversations with a major recently? Would you consider doing a partnership or distribution deal at all? Because I know this is the wave of the independent era. You see G Herbo, what he's been doing
Yeah,
independently. He's crazy with it, and you know you really
crazy.
have to give credit to people like Troy Ave too. I know people don't like him
Yeah,
for
yeah. Well,
but
yeah, for whatever reason.
yeah,
Yeah,
and to me, he was one of the ones in New York City to put on for the real hip hop at a time where it was
yeah.
considered not cool, and he did it independently.
He
BSB
did it
Records.
independent. He did. And speaking of G Herbo, shout out to Chicago, you know what I'm saying, and all the areas. You know, my brother Kurt Cohiba was on my album. He's from Chicago. And they a lot of them teach me that. And yeah, no, I do see that, Max. Like a major you know, if everything is right and it's something that can help me advertisement. Lately I've been actually you know, I direct a lot of my videos, a lot of
That's
my
fire.
top videos, yeah. And I've really been getting into the acting. You know, I was just, you know,
Okay.
if you check my IMDb, it's actually pretty it's pretty it's got a nice sheet with it. So I'm learning a lot of things. I was just recently on I can't speak on it, but I was just recently on something that's going to be pretty nice for me. And when you look at it, I am open to doing all those types of things. I believe in what you say, staying independent. You're totally on point and correct. You using that St. John's degree, and you know you're right on point with your philosophy because you do want to stay independent, but like for certain advertisements, a little more exposure. There are things that majors can do. I would mostly look toward major management, people that have the inside to get the things. You know, I want to get maybe I'll go to the Rock Nation brunch. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? This is what I'm looking at. You know, because you have so many things you can do independently. I'm gonna be coming out with a Violet vinyl. What's next for Ever So Prominent? Violet Skies. I will come out with vinyl. I'm gonna come. I mean, that cover was just. I imagined it in vinyl. I imagined the front cover and the back cover in vinyl. If you guys see the cover, you know, my man Rex described it well. He said this looks like a piece of art, and that's kind of the way I wanted to do it with the mural. So I'm gonna have vinyl limited edition. You know, a few. I will have a couple CDs be limited, but primarily vinyl and records. And when you look at it, I just want to be able to bring people in with the art and then also be able to get even more exposure. So I'm more open to the advertisement side of something I can do to open even more doors on a bigger scale because right now the numbers are they're good for me. It's coming back in, and it's like you get a nice feature, you do this, you do that. Now you know what I mean. Your streams is moving and you're progressing and you're uplifting. But I love what I'm doing with visuals and directing, and I'm really doing a lot with soundtracks now and
Mm,
ideas toward different types of audio to support visual because I'm very good with visual and I stand in front of the camera, but I'm also by default I had to stand behind, and now it's got me seeing the game from a different perspective. And so when I look at it from an executive side as opposed to a creative side, which I try not to get too lost in, I see the future. I mean, Meta just stopped paying people for reels. So if you look at that, someone like me, you know, it's not like it was everything for me, but the fact of the matter is, I was one of those guys that did very well when it came to that. So when you look at someone who's pretty much up there, verified different things, the key is how do you navigate in this tech space to be able to monetize your brand and who you are. And there's going to be something else that comes up in that manner.
yeah.
And that's the wave that I'm kind of navigating through now. So the future for Ever So Prominent is lots of records. You know what I'm saying? Lots of vinyl. I'm gonna put together a limited edition vinyl with all of my joints from my tracks with Smith and Wesson, from my tracks with Hakeem Green, my tracks with Masta Ace. But I'm gonna put them all together. Best of. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna make that vinyl pop. And we're gonna keep giving it to the people because they thought the essence was gonna fall off, and it seems like it's every day. I hear Juice is coming back out. I don't know what everything's happening all over again.
Yeah.
It's like the retro Jordans. It's like the
Yeah,
retro Jordans. That's the way rap is right now.
it is.
Everybody wants to try. Even Cola Ray. What is it, Cola Ray? She's
Yeah.
like you know,
I think she's Benzino's
because
daughter,
girls
right?
is players too, right?
Yeah, Benzino's daughter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I like, but she's flipping. She used the message. She used Busta Rhymes. Put your hands where my eyes can see. And she's got one more that she's doing now. But all those mixes, for all y'all that don't know, those are all Essence joints. The
Yeah.
message is like the first rap. I mean, what we doing? We lit now. Oh, it changed. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay now
Yeah.
to rap about all this stuff. It's just 360, Max, and that is it never will go out of style. People talk about the essence. It's not gonna go out of style. It just changes, updates, and once you add your drip to it, I'm gonna speak of y'all in. Once you add your drip to it, then now you got a whole different recipe. Now you got and that's what I think I've managed to do. I've been doing it so long, I put myself in it. So now I learned from the forefathers, the hip hop people, 50 Years, shout out to Cool Herc, all these great people I've been able to study. And then I add my flow to it, and now it's something different. Now it's like
Mm.
you don't know what you get hit with. And in art, that works. In another field, maybe not. Maybe if you wanted to, you know what I'm saying, if you were selling knives, it might be different. But in art, that works because unique and original content and original stuff is always going to be the special sauce. You know what I mean? The special sauce will always be there. You ain't gonna fall off. You know what I
No.
mean? You ain't gotta be following the trend because somebody else. That's what I see Masta Ace say. Masta Ace was like, I seen him in an interview recently. He was like, just be yourself. Whatever you do, you gotta throw yourself in there. And once you throw yourself in there, you good money. So that's it.
That's it. Well said. I did want to touch on some other sports topics because I know you're a Patriot fan, okay,
Yeah.
and you like the Yankees too. You're a Yankee fan.
Yes, sir.
So how are you feeling about the Patriots right now? Mac Jones, and I think they did re-sign Jabril Peppers, an offensive tackle.
Yeah.
Things have been going all right. I think you've had enough. You've had enough as a Jet fan. I've seen enough Patriots Super Bowls. You're
Yeah, yeah.
fine. I think you're set for a
Yeah,
while,
yeah.
right? Don't you think?
I know for we're set. You don't want to see anything
I
change.
don't want to see any more. I'm good. I've seen six. I've
I
seen,
mean, Devin McCourty just retired.
yeah.
So, I mean, you might have a chance. I mean, when you look at it, though, I'm going to be honest. I think, shout to Bill. We still got Bill, but I think we need we got to work on, in which we started, which we did finally. We needed to work on our offensive coordinator.
Oh, Josh McDaniels, he's horrible.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
he's going to
But he's
ruin that
gone
Raiders
now.
team. Yeah, he's going to
He's
ruin the
done.
Raiders. He already has. He got rid of Derek Carr. That's
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But we, the Patriots needed. We needed. I love Matt Patricia, but I don't think he was the answer.
No, he failed in Detroit. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's not
he
the
wasn't
answer.
the answer. We need that, but they got the new cat now,
Yeah.
so he should be good. And I think Mac Jones. I'm gonna ride with him one more year. I think Mac Jones. I'm gonna be honest. Mac was saying some things on the sideline last year. I watched a couple games. He was like, "We need to stop with these short passes," and I agree with him. I agree with him. Let it let's we gotta spice it up. And if you look when he had Josh McDaniels, he did better. He had a better year, and I think that yeah we it's the system. It's always been the system with the Patriots. It's always been well. Tom Brady is Tom Brady, but we definitely have a system, and I think this year I'm excited to see what we're going to bring to the table. I still believe in Mac, but I think that he needs to really get along with the offensive coordinator, and I think they need to make magic together. Together, they
Mm.
need to work together. You know what I mean? And I think he'll do it. Our defense is going to be okay. The D is going to be fine. It's the offense and getting them in tune. And so I'm looking forward to let Mac get another run at it, but particularly with a new offensive coordinator. The Jets, they got a lot of work to do. They last year they had it going for a minute.
Yeah, but it's the quarterback.
Yeah. No, I agree.
They have a
Is
top
it
five defense. They just don't. It's the quarterback. They got a
it,
great receiver, Garrett Wilson, Ohio State, running back
yeah,
Brees
yeah,
Hall. They got some.
yeah.
They got some players. It's just that quarterback,
That quarterback.
Zach Wilson. But
Wilson, I
I don't know
know,
if
I know.
you've been
Got the
following.
bad last name
Yeah.
too. You had to have. I'm like, yo, come on, man. You not Russell for sure. You ain't me.
Yeah.
You
No.
definitely I don't know where they got him from,
Yeah.
but yeah,
BYU.
yeah. He got a lot of work to do. But yeah, they definitely. It's and the Yankees. We here. You know what I mean? I gotta catch up on the Yankees. I'm a little behind.
Yeah, no, because I used to be into the Yankees, and then I converted to a Met fan
Oh,
because
you
I
did
went
convert
out the
back
same.
to okay, Queens.
Yeah, because I was out in Queens, and plus Nas is my favorite rapper, and he always
Yeah,
was
yeah,
with the Mets stuff. So that's why I
yeah.
switched to the Mets because I was
Gotcha.
going to St. John's, and the
Yeah,
Yankees were on the down for a little bit after they got rid of
yeah,
after Jeter retired. The Yankees went
yeah,
down, and I'm just like,
yeah, yeah,
this is boring.
yeah.
And I saw that
That's a
the
fact.
Mets, yeah, they had DeGrom, they had Harvey. Harvey was like
Right,
the Dark Knight at that time. They got
right,
Cespedes, and I'm
right.
like, I'm gonna go over here and watch the Mets because baseball is not my number one sport, but I was always a Jet and Nick fan my whole life. Baseball is not my
Right.
main sport, so
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
I'll
Me
follow the
neither.
Mets. You know?
Yeah. No, and that's respect. The Mets are doing their thing. The Mets are
Yeah,
doing their thing. So that's exciting because the Mets are doing their thing. I got a good friend, DJ K Swift. He DJ with me for the Ludacris show, and he's like Mets everything. And he's been kind of. It's finally their time because they've been beating up the Yankees for I don't know. I've been a little behind in my baseball, but like when you look at it, it's really, really. I like to see other people. You know what I'm saying? Get the shine. Everything switches. So
yeah,
it's pretty dope to see. It's exciting to see, especially kind of in tune with the Knicks doing their thing.
yeah. Well, the Knicks, it's been a while since 2013.
Yeah, I know.
It's been a
We
while.
need
We don't even think about what was it 2020 when they made the playoffs because they were beaten right away pretty much by
first
the
round.
Hawks. Yeah, we
Yeah,
that doesn't count to me. I'm sorry. 2013, that's the last time they were really relevant because they made it to the second
yeah,
round against the Pacers, and
yeah.
I
I
still
remember
say to
that.
this day, I think if they got past the Pacers, they would have beat the Heat. I still say it because they beat the Heat in the regular season that year 4 out of 5 times.
4 out of 5 times.
I
Yeah, they
still
have.
think I don't care about playoff LeBron. I know LeBron was a monster, and what he was
Yeah,
doing out there in Miami was insane. That was probably his best years, those years in Miami. Then when he went back to Cleveland, I
yeah,
think the Knicks would have made some noise against Miami because they had their
yeah,
number that year.
yeah. I think Melo has uh and he had when he was playing consistently. Sharpshooter like Melo, please don't sub me. That's actually a line by me, by the way.
Yeah,
Dedicated. I do want to point that out. And when I say that, it's a double kind of like entendre because I'm a sharpshooter like Melo. I'm rapping, I'm sharp, I'm da da da. Please don't sub me is like Melo was having issues with this, being a consistent player, and then it's also like in rap, a subliminal is
mm,
a sub. So I like that one. And when I stated that, and I speak of Melo, he seemed to have LeBron's number when he played
he did.
for some reason. He has some special sauce. I'm not saying that LeBron isn't the man and everything, but when they play each other, some special sauce that he has, that Melo has.
My favorite player on the Knicks was J.R. Smith when he was on there.
Or
He
J.R.
was
Smith. Yeah,
nasty with the
yeah,
threes and the dunks and everything. Six
yeah,
man of the
thorough.
year.
Yeah, thorough. Yeah. J.R. Smith was. It was a time when he was killing it. He was like the new John Starks
He
3.0.
was.
Yeah, he was like 3.0. He was man, and he was, and he had his head on right when he was there. Like he was definitely. I mean, obviously he got his joint. I guess it was in Cleveland.
Hmm. The
He
ring
later
there.
on ended up grabbing his ring or whatever.
I
But
think he grabbed one with the Lakers with LeBron too. I think.
yeah, wow. Okay,
I think he did. I'd have to double check
okay.
on that,
He
but for
might. Yeah,
some
we got
reason
to
I feel
check.
like
He,
he
he
was
might
there.
have. He might have. But I know he did for Cleveland. And
Yeah.
when he was with the Knicks, though, he really mentally, because that was always his thing where he was going to be. He was really on point those years, man.
Mhm.
It's funny we have to kind of, I'm saying, soak over the golden
Yeah.
times when those were.
Thank you,
But
Phil Jackson.
yeah, Phil Jack, thank you. But he really was killing it. So I do remember those, and he was doing his thing, and the Knicks was popping. So like I said, whole different team now, whole different vibe. But we really appreciate it over the years. I mean, this is a place where basketball was, you know what I mean? This is where it was invented. This is where it was. This is the Mecca is the word.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I really want to see our dominance. I want to see our prominence and our dominance. I like to see things start to excel. And yeah, those were great years. And it was definitely something that I think we could, like I said, always build off of. You know what I'm saying? And Knicks tape's going we're gonna progress, man. I'm trying to go all the way this year, man. You never
Yeah.
know.
You never know, and they got to take advantage of that. We always have that much hope. We always have so
Yeah,
much hope as Nick fans, and it's always just it ripped right
yeah.
out from under us all the time. But you never know, especially when Brunson's playing. He's
Oh my God, yeah, definitely. And like I said, I'm feeling hope, but I'm trying, Max. I'm not getting too, I am because I'm happy, but I'm like reserving because of just the Knicks. I
it's
still
the
have
Knicks at
that.
the end of the day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm very weary of whatever. But I like the way we're looking, and I think we're gonna make some noise with if we keep up with this type of consistency. If we can get it, we can get back on the wagon. You know what I'm saying? And start, get them orange and blue skies moving. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
gonna be my next. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed on that. Orange and blue skies, baby.
Yeah.
Let's
The,
go.
the
You know what I
sequel to
mean?
Violet Skies.
The secret of that's right.
Yeah.
We mix it up, and that we gonna rap about sport. Oh, trust me, don't let me come with the concepts, because I'll come with the concepts.
And
I
I remember
start
when
with
you did
two.
that freestyle on my show to 0 to 100 when we were back at St. John's and
Oh wow,
you were
yeah, that was to that beat. I forgot about that one.
yeah.
True,
Yeah.
off
I
the
remember that.
brain. We threw that on, and yeah, yeah. I just did one yesterday. That's another thing. That seems to be a lost art. Like I will come off the brain. Like people are like, do people do that? I'm like, I don't know. It's in my DNA. I'll
Yeah.
try it out. It's like, cats are scared. I have exclusive verses as well, but like, yeah, I remember doing that, man. And it was you turned it on and we got busy. That's it.
I've never seen anything like that because you were taking objects in the room. I think you brought an iced tea. I think you were picking out different objects in the room and just fitting it
Right.
right in, and you were in your pocket for sure.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you, man. That was exclusive, man. We was in the studio.
Yeah.
So, we was at St. John's University. I got the pictures. I got receipts.
Yeah.
So, that right there is alone a top notch moment for us both. And yeah, I guess it was just something about that. You had we had the equipment in there. It
Yeah.
was just lit. So it was like it set the whole mood to do it like that. So I couldn't disappoint.
Yeah. A lot of top hip hop artists have been there as well. DMC, J. Cole went to school there. It's
Right.
real
Facts.
prominent. Yeah.
Prominent, man. God bless him. That's right. Cole killed it. Came up from NC and then went to St. John's. Killed it.
Yeah.
Perfect, perfect move. Got the college crowd, and kept it plugging, man. Yeah, there's such a history in that studio, man. I was so glad to be a part of that, and so glad to see the elevation of sports and hip hop, Max, and everything that's been going on. That's the way we do it, baby. I
Yeah,
mean,
man.
we're gonna keep it up.
You already know, just this is kind of a down note for a big part of hip hop history. I'm curious because you were all big in the mixtapes back in the day. That's how you got your start. No
Yeah,
Ceilings, Dedication, or some legendary mixtapes that come to mind when I think about Datpiff. How do you feel
yeah.
about the fall of Datpiff? And man,
Oh man. I mean, yeah. Who knows? It's crazy, man. Like I want to make a best of mixtape. I was talking to my man King Flow about this, and like, it just shows. It's like you have a moment, and the mixtapes, they evolved over years of different things. Like a lot of times, especially for a person like me, when I was 14 starting off and I had the ability to do them, it was mainly because I was stuck in a deal that was kind of like, I couldn't really, I had obligations, but they weren't really allowing me to kind of fulfill them because of the fact that, they wanted everything kind of done in a mutual respect of their way of doing the album. So as an outlet, I started to do mixtapes. And when I did mixtapes, they were just the ability to give you the uncut, raw, filtered stuff and give it to the streets, give it right to the streets, to the hip hop heads. And then next thing you know, it's blowing up. So for that Piff, it's like that was something cats could upload. Yo, let me put up. I got my mixtape. It's not an album. We might even have original beats, but it's a mixtape. That's what we're calling it. And it's crazy to me that something could fall. But then again, I think the way the game has evolved and the way technology, more importantly, has evolved, it's almost like the Bedtime Street album that I put out in 2012. What
Green
Rich
tea with you holding the stick.
exactly?
Yeah.
That was a mixtape, really. That was
Yeah.
actually a side album because I was doing sleepwalking and I was having so much problems with getting it out. Not that it was like I was gonna get it out, but it was taking long because I had my producer went down to Florida and I had all this stuff. So I actually did a side album that people know of now, the Bedtime Street album, which actually might have became in some ways more classic than the full length album. That's where the Green Teas and 20s and Dutchie's Dip, Red Wine, all these street anthems that I made really came out. And I was in my 20s, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? And I made this album and it was really raw, uncut hip hop. So if I didn't have that outlet, I feel like whatever. So I'm saying this, the Bedtime Street album, I put it out on Bandcamp first, and it was a bunch of Bandcamp and everything else. It wasn't even. I think I had it on Datpiff or something for a while, but I definitely had it on Bandcamp and this and that. And the reason why I think it fell is probably because if you look at the way the times are now, you can kind of just upload whatever free type of music that you want, and you have your own platform like a Spotify, whatever you have. So it's like it's not as concentrated as being like that Piff. You got it. It's it. This is it. It ain't it no more because you got so much independence with the technology. You could create your own like albums and be like, you don't even need that Piff. You're like, yo, I'm gonna just put this up on Bandcamp or whatever else. So it's like it used to be the go-to, but it just times change. But the more things change, the more they stay the same. Things just evolve into something else. I'm with Bandcamp. Bandcamp saved my life. Bandcamp allowed me to like put the Bedtime Street album out and kill the street. I had CDs and I had online, which made me national. So when I went to these Rhode Island and performed, or I went somewhere else, I could be like, yo, I might have ran out of some CD. I ran out of CDs. I used to put CDs in gas stations. Like, here's a CD, here's a CD in my 20s, here's a CD. But I also caught the online wave so I could, if I came to the city, I didn't have any CDs, I'd be like, yo, you can get it on Bandcamp, you know? And so it's really about just the times changing and different things like that. So that Piff, as much as I loved it, it had an era, it had a run, and you got a lot of people that can just put so much stuff out, so much content on Spotify or whatever. It just kind of evolved into something else. And it came to a point where people were like, yo, this is it now. But we know we still got that raw music. So I think everything will be all right, man. I think there's a lot of great music coming out. There's a lot of music that's accessible. It's just a matter of what your choice is. Are you gonna big it up or are you gonna act like, you live in a bubble and there ain't no other good music? I support. I'll purchase some. I'll listen to some. I'll stream some if it's popping. And it only got to be me. That's how I got different features. I know what's dope. You know what I mean? I know or what I like at least. So it's definitely always accessible. And I just think the consumption of music is just so different. Now it's like, that's why I put 9 songs on the album because it's like, you know, ESP has 16 songs. You know what I'm saying? There were 16 songs on ESP. I don't know if I'll ever do another album that has 16 songs.
The attention span, especially the youth today, it's not there. Me, I could sit down and listen to a whole album. Like the kids my
Nice.
age, they don't do that. I'm a gem.
Right. Yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree. And that is, and I used to be like, I would only make albums for cats like you that are gonna do that. But now it's like I realize I can pack the content and still be able to do it in a 9-track album. That's a skill too, because sometimes less is more. You know what I mean? But you just got to find the ways. I'm still getting off of my bars. I used to do 3 verses. Now I'll do 2. But you best believe in those 2 verses, there's gonna be a lot of gems in there. You know what I
Mm,
mean? I'm gonna throw a lot of gems and a lot of dope stuff, but I'm gonna get to the point quick. Nas got the formula. Nas does it very well.
yeah.
You look at KD3, he got the young hit boy, the young gunner on him, but he's giving him the stuff he likes and he letting them just go off on it. And now you have a body of work that nobody can really duplicate because he's just like, yo, I'm finding my pocket. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has the ability to find their pocket. And yes, you're rare in that sense. So I know a lot of people have the short attention span. So here you go, here's nine. Here's nine. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I'll break it up. I could have easily had 15 track album, then come back with another 10 album. I have them all together, but I'd rather just nine, 7, 8, and then maybe 9 again. You know, that's a lot. It's more easily digested. So, we just flow along with the times. But like I said, the more things change, the more they remain the same. There's a lot of really, really good things that come out of that. You know what I'm saying? And vinyl is still moving. That's my next move. Vinyl is, you go across the world. I've been to 180G. I've been to Paul's Boutique in Montreal. You know what I'm saying? I've been to Merle's Music. I've been to all types of really dope record stores, performing, being around them. Vinyl's alive. People buying vinyl.
Oh yeah.
Vinyl,
That's the thing. It came back.
yeah, exactly. Never, never, yo. And listen, that's my thing. Wait till you get this Violet Scott, man. Listen, I'm gonna do a couple little fun packages, man. Get everybody involved. I was recently on Make a Beat, which is a vinyl. Shout out to my man DJ Cliff in Paris, France. I was on a compilation album recently called Make a Beat. Came out of Paris. Man, it was really dope. You know what I'm saying? They sent me the vinyl. It was huge, nice cover. Nothing beats the experience of a vinyl, man.
No, it's as soon as you just grab it, it's a piece of art.
It's a piece of art,
Yeah.
man, for real. The cover, everything. Like that's something that once again, it's eternal, man. We go all day with this, Max, but it's eternal because you're not gonna play out. It's not gonna play out because records are not a record when it becomes a vinyl and it's got the cover and everything. Yo, it's an experience. I was telling
Mm.
somebody the other day, I was like, one of my favorite records, and I surprised them was like Abbey Road. And they were like,
Beatles.
really? I'm like, yeah, it's an album and it's a story and it's everything going together from the touch of the you reading it to the producers to the vibe of the music. Yo, this art, baby. This is all art, yo. You know what I mean? I take it seriously. I put as much time into the cover as we doing into the music.
Yeah, the images reflect the words.
Facts. Fact. If they don't go hand in hand, Max, and then to the merch. If they
Yeah,
don't go all hand in hand,
it's all
you
about the
might as well
marketing.
not even you can't curate nothing.
No, it's all
Yeah.
about the marketing.
Facts. Facts.
You
So
already know.
our style is never gonna play out, man. Enough respect to everybody. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Che New Orleans in her 20s.
Yeah,
So I mean, she says in the song, she goes, they told me I couldn't rap like this. You know, uh, I found pants in my size. And basically what she's saying is she can rap the essence. She'll be fine. No loss.
no,
It's like it never goes out of style. So we good. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna get played out. You know what I mean?
no.
Violet skies, baby.
Violet Sky is available on all platforms. Jahan, is there anything else you want to let the audience know? Anything else? I know you got two more on the way for this three-part series here for Violet Skies. Is there anything else you want to let your fans know and everyone tune in what they can expect next?
No, numb and just reflect reality, prove I'm the illest, uplift the future. I like to congratulate sports and hip hop. My man Max, everything's 360. We back from square one. We go way back.
Yeah,
Guys young, we go way back. I mean, wow, we're alive, man. Yo,
yeah,
nice to see you, my brother.
yeah,
I'm glad to see everything you're doing. And I'm glad that we're both progressing and evolving in an upward movement, man, and continuing to do that. And I just want to give a shout to you for having me on. Let's get these Knicks turned around. And love is love, my guy. You know what I'm saying? Always nice to see you, man.
yeah. It's
And
always
anybody
nice.
that comes over here on here as a guest, you definitely getting the top quality, you know, grade that you need here. Let's keep it up. You know what I'm saying? That's it, man. Blast off. That's
Yeah.
it.
Blast off. Until the next time, Jahan, thank you for coming on the show. They can check you out on Instagram at Jahan Nostra, JahanNostra, available on all platforms.
Yes, sir. Peace, y'all.
Peace,
Sports
y'all.
and hip hop.
You already know.